I don't like people who aren't famous. So I barely like you. I hate my family.
Yeah. You
But
call your daughter the little non-famous, and you
the
call
little non-famous,
Jason the male
the
non-famous.
male non-famous, and
Yeah.
they know why.
Yeah.
Okay, all in all, the Oscars too long, the Oscars too white, the Oscars too confusing for Michelle.
Yeah. Oscars to extended James Bond sequence? Question mark?
What was that? I did read why that might have happened because it was, I guess, like that like Selena Gomez movie, was it called?
Oh, they were gonna have an Amelia Perez
Yes, because I
montage.
get, wasn't it like nominated, like the songs were nominated or something, but like they weren't going to be able to convince Selena Gomez to sing live. She gets really anxious.
Well, and they weren't gonna do the song. They weren't after all this happened. They
I
didn't even do the intros like they did for supporting actor. They just did the clips for best actor and actress so that no one had to be like, you are a talented lady and I'm happy that you are part of this. Because no one, like, friggin' Cillian Murphy's like, I'm not doing that. Yeah, he would just bow.
well, we love a Spanish woman.
So true. Oh yeah, so that brings us to, guys, you asked for it. And by you, I mean my sister. We have a very special episode today. Probably I'm going to say it, one of the greatest stories ever told.
It's the story of how we became friends.
It is. She brought us together.
Yeah, she brought us together. Lauren and I knew each other for too many years.
Too many.
We weren't friends. We weren't not friends.
We ran in the same circles.
We ran in the same circles.
We drank ourselves into the same circles.
We drank ourselves and we smoked ourselves and we cried ourselves and we eating disordered ourselves.
Always adjacently. Never the twain shall meet.
No. And until a cucumber.
A cucumber
brought us together.
Yeah. And we are, of course, talking about Hilaria Baldwin. As some of you may know, the long-awaited Max/TLC joint show, The Baldwins, which some of us have been waiting for
a long time.
Lives. Yeah. It was finally released, and at first it's been so built up for me and Michelle, and it's such a just sacred thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
First we were a little worried because it's like it's pretty clear that it's all
they're not
well, and like, yeah, the kids stuff bums us out a little, and so much of it is going to be about the Rust trial. It's like they're doing a commercial for the Rust trial. I'm like, why are we bringing it up?
We're gonna get press for this movie.
It's crazy, dude. But yeah, and we'll get into all of that. But yeah, so we were a little worried because like Alec Baldwin was like, I'm so unlikable in this, and it's like, okay, no. You have been so unlikable so many other times and you're never self-aware of it. You guys are producers. You guys are shaping the narrative. I don't know how much real Baldwin, the Baldwin that feeds us, we're going to see. But here's the thing. The Baldwin shtick they're performing, that is what we're getting. They've been performing it. They've been practicing it since they got together.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. These are like
these are stars, baby. These X Factor. God shines a light on them. Okay, these people know how to win awards. These people know how to wear short shorts. These people know how to act. I loved like even the confessionals. We would just get a little bit of Alec Baldwin doing scene work. He would throw an accent. Like we got the song, we got the dance, we got the sadness.
Yes, and just also we'll get more into the recap later, but just the way that they interact with each other, where it's like, whatever they're saying, they've said a million times to each other as part of their shtick and jokes, but they still seem like they've never met before.
It's incredible.
It's fascinating.
Lightning in a bottle, these two. When you just like, you can just feel the non-chemistry between two people.
It's electric.
Refuse to leave each other's side.
Yes. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's like, and I think to really enjoy it, you guys really need some of the backstory. Like, because there's just so much, and really, like, there were so many Easter eggs in the show for longtime Pepinos to really appreciate and enjoy. So we can't tell you all of it because there's just too friggin' much. But this, we're going to do a 2-part episode. This part is going to be part 1. We're going to get a little bit into the Hilaria Baldwin origin story and their union. And then we're going to recap the episode afterwards, just so you're primed a little on the material. Because like, if you guys probably know, Hilaria was, faking being Spanish. She's got tons of kids. She's younger than Alec. Alec accidentally killed a woman on the set of Rust, etc. But like, here's how juicy this is. I'm going to have to explain to you 3 different cults they were associated with before I can even get into how they met. That's
Incredible.
how much lore there is.
And we haven't even talked about the Reddit that brought our friendship together.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So first of all, I want to thank the Reddit sub, the controversial Reddit sub, r/Hilaria Baldwin. Now, the sub gets a bad rep because there are definitely like some right-wing lunatics on there,
But
like
it's
any
Reddit,
snark
baby.
sub.
It's
Yes,
Reddit. What
it's
can we do?
Reddit.
It's
Exactly.
Reddit.
It's a snark sub. Like there's gonna be, but also the thing is, they're so dedicated. There's so much extensive research, more, you know, like
Boots on the ground.
boots on the ground.
We got
These
them in
girls did their
Spain.
homework.
We got them in the Hamptons. We got them in the cucumber fields.
We have, so many firsthand accounts of like people who took yoga with Hilaria and put their firsthand account. Like that's where I got a lot of this from. So also, don't take any of it too seriously.
No,
either.
we don't.
We don't at all.
We do, but
It's
camp.
just fun. It's fun.
Camp. Let the girls play.
Yes, like there's a lot of people in that sub who like really feed off the rage and anger and hatred, but like we have a lot of fun with.
We're having fun out there.
We're having fun, and we're, she's entertaining, Hilaria.
That's entertainment.
That's entertainment.
That's entertainment. Some of you fools like watching Adrian Brody being boring ass for 5 hours on screen. And no. I want to see Hilaria faking an accent her entire life, teaching that to her children, having a husband who's having so many sorts of breakdowns, but she's looking good doing it, baby.
She's looking good
with her
completely new face, which she claims she's never had plastic surgery.
Yeah, making charts to figure Tetris to figure out how she's going to get all the kids in a car.
Yeah,
this woman is get her a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame right now.
Just so many choreographed hijinks. Which,
I love it.
That's her life, and I love it. Okay, so let's start with we can actually start with Wikipedia because people hate this bitch so much that they shade her on her Wikipedia, and it's never been taken down, but it's just like a kind of like shady and like backhanded way.
Yeah, it's like the Shade Room.
Like the Shade Room, right? What's the Shade Room?
It's like an urban gossip site.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
See, I'm too white. No one told me about it.
Oscar's too white over here.
Yeah, that's me.
Oscar's too white over here.
Yeah, and people call me Oscar because I live in a trash can like the Grouch and look like a man.
Yeah, you look like you just came out of a trash can. Actually, go down and then pop up and be very angry towards me.
I was wearing kind of a hat situation that looks like maybe a trash can lid.
I teach you your ABCs, you shitheads. That was basically Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, that's the Avenue Q. That's the After Dark
That
version.
was Avenue Q.
Okay, so Hillary Lynn Thomas, Wikipedia says, and that really was her name, was born in Boston, like me, Oscar the Trash Can, and then it was January 6th, 1984.
January 6th?
Whoa, I didn't even put that together. What a great day.
She just knew what to do.
Oh my God, the lore.
Oh, I'm shaking.
January 6th, 1984, like a conservative wet dream birthday. Oh, so good.
Oh my God.
So she was born to Catherine Hayward and David Thomas Jr. She is of English, French, Canadian, German, Irish, and Slovak descent. That's right. They got on ancestry.com and they cited it in the Wikipedia.
All of those places are exactly where white people come from. It's like where white people.
That's the motherlands. Yeah.
The motherlands of all of the whites.
So, yeah, her mom grew up in Massachusetts, too. She spent her career practicing medicine. She was an associate physician at Massachusetts General Hospital.
Insane.
And a professor of medicine at Harvard. And then her dad was an attorney with an undergrad degree in Spanish literature from Haverford and a law degree from Georgetown University. So she grew up with like wealthy, waspy white parents, but they did have like an interest in Spanish culture. Even her granddad was like a big rich money guy, an American with roots in the country that predated the American Revolution.
Oh my God.
And he was from Iowa, but he traveled to Argentina a lot as an auditor for General Electric. And so he was always really interested in European cultures, and he taught Spanish, I think, to his kids too. So I do think, personally, she speaks it. I think she...
No, she definitely, she speaks Spanish very, very well.
Yeah. And
she does a lot of things very well.
Yes. Yeah. From practice. She's getting the reps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she went, Hillary Hayward Thomas attended the, I also love that name, it's so
It's
80s.
so is.
Hillary Hayward Thomas.
Hillary, yeah, I know, Hillary Hayward.
So she went to Cambridge School of Weston, which was a private co-ed high school in Weston, Massachusetts. Very expensive school. I think it was like $64,000 a year, even
Oh
back
my
then.
god. Oh my
Yeah,
god. That's like $1,000 million in today's economy.
it's crazy. It's like that's like more than NYU was back then. Insane.
Insane.
And so then she started college at age 19. I love that they've got to like shade her like she started college late by
She was the late bloomer.
the like, oh, get her.
Did she have a
Um,
gap year?
and she went to NYU, yeah, the other most expensive place in the world. And she was on the ballroom dance team there. And she also did Latin ballroom. And she actually was dating her dance partner there, Eduardo, for like 2 years. This is important because she later names one of her children Eduardo, which is crazy.
Yes.
And so then she alleges her family spent like half their time in Spain growing up, but according to like many people who were interviewed in like actual publications too, not just Reddit, they were like, yeah, I knew her growing up. She didn't have an accent. She went by Hillary. They spent like maybe, a week there every few
Mm-hmm.
years.
Right.
But her parents did move there in like 2012 once her mom
Retired. Yeah,
to
they're
New
like
York.
expats.
Yes, yes. So again, it's like, she just has a fun relationship with the truth.
She has a way with the truth that is
It's an artistic
fun.
interpretation.
It is flirty. It is
Mm-hmm.
devious.
It's kind of like her relationship with Alec, where it's
Yeah,
like, I pretend to love you, but secretly I
yeah,
hate you,
like
but it's
they're yeah,
sexual.
like I can't stay away. Like we're not really together, her and the truth, but like they have like all of these kids together.
Right,
Truth.
right. Exactly.
They're so they are tied. They are linked forever.
Linked forever. You can't say that she's not linked with the truth
Right,
somehow.
but the truth is looking at her like
But the truth has her trapped. They're trapped.
they're trapped.
They're
We're
trapped.
all trapped.
Aren't we
We're
all trapped by the truth?
The Von traps.
Yeah. So while attending NYU, she became a yoga teacher at Yoga to the People. This will be the first cult of the hour we learn about. She taught at their St. Mark's location. And then from reports, she spent a month in Spain while teaching at Yoga to the People. She like took a month off. And then when she came back, she had dyed her hair. She was super tan and she started going by Hilaria. So Hillary had a close relationship with the Yoga to the People founder, Greg Gumacchio, who was allegedly abusing his power, sleeping with upwards of 10 of his beautiful 20 to 25-year-old female employees. He was a longtime student and trusted advisor to Bikram Chowdhury, founder of cult number 2, Bikram Yoga, another sex cult. It was also the one where they do 105-degree yoga.
I tried that one time and I was like, I'm dead. I'm just dead. I cannot believe I'm paying these people so much money to kill me.
And you're just like stretching, and they ruined yoga. Like
Yeah,
now you can't go to yoga anywhere without it being hot. Like
why is it so hot?
It's just bulimia, to be honest. Like it was a cult. Like it was
bulimia is hot.
But yeah, and bulimia is he like, a cult tool and like, anorexia. And so this, they just like kind of find these women with eating disorders and they trap them emotionally and financially. And then later, luckily, they get their comeuppance. So yeah, so women were systematically groomed and abused in Bikram and in Yoga to the People. Bikram taught Greg well. Their bodies were criticized. They were underpaid. And then, obviously then, a guru starts a new studio using the same predatory system. You see that a lot in yoga. There's like 12 Netflix documentaries about, different, including Bikram. So a lot of the teachers were envious because of her closeness to Greg. I don't know if they were actually involved, but they were very close, and he was obviously like obsessed with her. Like people always thought they were married because she was always like taking care of his son. And also she got the same class time every day, which no other employees did. Like that's so crazy and cult that he would spring their class times on them the day or like a couple of days before, and you never knew what it would be. Like, but also it was also because she was a very popular teacher. Like
She's just a
people loved
she's
her.
popular. Yeah, she's, Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, Miss. They're like, we don't care if your name is Hillary or Hilaria. We just
Yeah,
want
we
to
just we
do
just want
yoga
to
with you.
we would just want to be in your shine, like your glow.
Yes,
Just
yes,
like,
just soak it
give us
up.
some of that sunlight. That is sun.
So during this time in 2009, she was secretly starting a yoga studio called Yoga Vita, along with Mike Patton. He was one of her students, and they were building it in the West Village of New York City for 6 months, totally secretly. She claims that they like were co-owners, but actually it's like completely filed in Mike's name. But she did like help him start the yoga program, and she took 100 yoga to the people clients with her to start, and they basically their entire curriculum, which actually I think is so girl boss.
She's
Like,
yeah, she's a boss babe.
yeah, because like it's like, oh, these guys keep making sex cults, so I'm just going to start my own studio that's not a sex cult, and that's going to be a lot more popular. And it was.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. And apparently this Mike Patton guy was like a really nice guy. He was great with business. He had the funds. Like he worked the front desk for like the first 4 years instead of hiring someone. He was like a great guy. So it's like she did she chose well, and there's been no Yoga Vita scandals that I know of. It's still around. During COVID, they like branched out to 4 locations, but a lot of them went under, but they still have a Union Station place where you can practice. So yeah, that's refreshing. So, but of course, Greg from Yoga to the People and the other teachers were furious that she left. But in 2011, Bikram Chaudhuri was suing all of his disciples for teaching Bikram yoga. He claimed it was his
Mm-hmm.
and sued them. And the judge ruled that he's like, you can't sue them for like doing one of your asanas, but that started a floodgate of sexual abuse lawsuits against Bikram. He's had his assets frozen. He's been publicly disgraced. He got a divorce, and she took almost everything. Like that guy's fucked. And then Yoga to the People closed in 2022 after multiple accusations of tax fraud, sexual assault, labor violations, racial discrimination, other crimes, bad business practices, and someone got on their yoga account. It was an inside job and posted all of this shit, which is badass too.
We
And
love to see
I
it.
love to see it, baby. And then Greg was arrested for tax evasion a month later, and last October he pled guilty. So it is a happy ending to these stories.
It's a New York story if I ever heard one.
I know. See, isn't the story so good? We haven't even really gotten started.
Tell a story.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
But anyway, all this to say, like, while Hilaria has done some really bad things, sometimes she's kind.
She's so kind.
She's kind.
We love it.
So then let's cut to our third cult. So in 2011, Alec Baldwin is experiencing a huge career resurgence. He's killed his career with his very messy public divorce.
Don't say that.
Oh yeah, not the only thing he's killed. Spoilers.
He manslaughtered his career.
Manslaughtered, yes, and was found not guilty. Due to a botched trial of Hollywood against him. No, he was such a fucking prick. Like, I feel like you've got to be such an alcoholic and a prick.
The way, like, I don't think people really remember Alec before Hilaria. I mean, so it was like he was with Kim Basinger for a very, very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of Hollywood's very famous Democrats, him and his brothers. But I don't think people remember how awful he was. He was always angry. He was always beating up like paparazzi. Do you remember? Like, I get it, they're in your face and it's got to be annoying, but he was like assaulting.
And he did it in 1999. He did it in 2005.
He assaulted photographers.
He would call them homophobic slurs. He's hard to work with. Like, to be a handsome white guy in Hollywood,
but
and
he had
fuck
those
that
eyes.
up.
And he has those smoldering eyes, baby.
But still, he fucked it up so bad that he was fucked until 30 Rock.
And he was awful to Kim. Like, he was so bad. Their divorce was so disgusting, so messy. But really, one of the worst things he ever did was that voice memo that he left to his daughter, Ireland, great name, calling her a pig. He called his daughter a pig. She released it, which I would too.
Yeah.
This is like what was public. Can you imagine what he said privately to his ex-wife, to their daughter. That's why his whole rebrand as like this like father with all of these children has been very strange, because the way that we all know how he treated his firstborn.
We know him
Ireland.
as the worst father
The
ever.
worst father, always
She
angry.
was
I never saw the man smile.
no, and she was 14 at the time, and like he's like he's like, you're such a fucking pig, like your mother. You're playing
Yeah.
fucking mind games with me, just like all this crazy shit.
Yeah, he was on, and yeah, he was on 30 Rock at the time when this was happening, and he was trying to get out of his contract after it was released.
No, I thought this was. I thought that was before 30 Rock.
No,
Wait.
I thought, okay, because I remember him being on The View and them asking him about it, and him saying like he had asked NBC and Tina Fey to get out of his 30 Rock contract. He was like done, but maybe it was just because of his other stuff. I do remember he wanted to get out of 30 Rock though.
Why did he want to get out of 30 Rock?
Because he had such bad press. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. He was like, I need to deal with things like privately with like my family and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was in 2007. Also because like I think this is like when really like the New York Post and New York Mail started, your favorite publications.
The Daily Mail, I'm not talking about it anymore. You have to pay now. It's been pretty pain. I'm only left with the New York Post. It's been a lot.
Yeah, well, and all the who runs those, Murdoch?
Yeah.
All those Murdoch run papers, they would like, they were already going after him before all this shit for just being like a liberal
piece of shit.
And for being liberal. That's the whole thing about Alec Baldwin haters, is some are bad faith because he's liberal. Not
but
us,
he's
though.
also he's a liberal who still call you like a horrible
who will call a paparazzi like a fucking queen, and I think it's something else. Anyway, this was like early on in 30 Rock. This was like the second season,
right?
But still, he was such a fucking genius in 30 Rock. I have to say, amazing. I'm watching it with my stepson right now, and it's like he's
brilliant. He's a brilliant comedic actor.
But it's just so weird how someone can be emotionally such a stupid nightmare and empty.
He's just a nightmare. Like, Billy, come get your brother in check.
Yes, Billy, you're still number one. Even after the Baldwins, a TV show, you're still our number one Baldwin.
I know. Like, there's something going really bad. Like, between Alec and Justin Bieber, like, whatever is going on over there is not good.
Wait. Oh, yeah. On that,
that's his nephew or something.
That's so weird.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, but they never, post together anymore. Not since the scandal.
That would be crazy if they did.
That would be crazy.
That would
I think Steven and Alec are... I think Steve and Alec are strange too.
Yeah.
So, it's rumored that in season 3 of 30 Rock, Alec Baldwin's character Jack Donaghy, he's got this romance arc with a character played by Salma Hayek.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor is that he had a huge crush on her. But of course, she's like, oh, I'm Salma Hayek. I can do so much better. I'm going to marry the billionaire guy who runs Gucci.
Yeah. And she did.
Yeah. But he was super into her, and is the rumor. And then he started hanging out a lot at cult number 3, Pure Food and Wine, which was the very popular vegan raw restaurant that didn't cook anything in Manhattan. It was like referenced on Sex and the City. Lots of celebrity clientele hung out there. And Alec kind of fell in love with the owner, Sarma. But Sarma actually was in a relationship which was a cult. It was a 2-person cult, and her later husband made her believe he could commune with angels in the afterworld, and that she needed to give him all the profits from the restaurant instead of paying her employees, so that she could live forever with her golden retriever. So she was not available, so she dodged a bullet with Alec Baldwin.
Available, yeah. So I'm taken.
Yeah. And still, I think she maybe got the better option.
Yeah, no, truly. I mean, we love angels in the outfield, or whatever you said.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't get through the, if you want to learn more about that, it's in the Netflix documentary Bad Vegan. But it was so confusing what she believed that I was like, I don't think I can follow this.
With your golden retriever, babe, now you lost me.
Yeah, where it's like she's going into the other room and he's like, be right back. I'm going to talk to the angels. Oh, wait, there's another angel. Right. And I'm just like, I can't, this is too plotty.
So many angels.
Yeah, this is like friggin', Dune. I can't, how did she do it?
I can't watch Dune. Oh my God. Pop culture memory.
That's so Raven.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember reading, okay, like topical, how Kylie and Timothy got together. They met at a party and she was telling him that she had read the Dune books. And he was like, yeah, you're hot. You've read Dune. And they've been together ever since.
Honestly, this so tracks because famously you sent me her young adult sci-fi novel with Kendall that they wrote together, and that definitely seemed Dune influence
Yeah.
from the cover, which is all
Right.
I've read.
Right. So,
Yeah.
anyway, just for the people who are mean all the time, I actually feel bad for those two. Like, he clearly likes her. People think just because he's a really good actor, he can't be with somebody who is also wildly more successful in her own right than this man. She's a
100%.
literal billionaire. Who cares how she did it? She's so much more successful. Why are people assholes? How do we know that he's well read and deep and we don't?
No, he doesn't seem that smart.
He doesn't.
He's an Alec Baldwin, amazing actor, but
And
you wouldn't know it from talking to him.
You wouldn't fucking know it. Anyway, that was my memory.
Okay. Yeah. And thank you as always for sharing it. This was Michelle's memories corner. Okay, so then, so Alec, of course, being the charmer that he is, even though she was like in a, 500-year marriage, this angel talker, he still would go there and just like hang out and ogle her and, like, what about now?
And do his little, he likes to do stuff like that.
Yep, that's so Alec.
That's so he's like a little Muppet.
So then Hilaria was there one night, and I'll quote her on this one.
A quote.
So that she's like, that night I told my girlfriends, universe, I have an announcement to make. I'm ready to meet someone and fall in love. Then they went to dinner at the, Pure Food and Wine. They sat down, and then he walked up to her and said, I must know you. I must know you. So nice he said it twice.
Oh my God. I mean, listen.
Who amongst us hasn't been with our girlfriends saying, universe?
No, I mean,
an announcement.
If a down on his luck, aging Hollywood relic walked up to me during the worst time in his life.
Yeah.
I must know you.
I must know you.
I must know you. I'd be like, okay, well.
Yeah. I mean,
do you want to know about how Timothy and Kylie got together? Because that's what I have to talk about.
And he'd hate that.
I know, but he would hate it. But he'd be like, "Oh, I hate it so much." Whatever. Like, who gives a shit? Like, this is Alec, right?
Yes.
He's really never given a shit.
No,
and that's the thing. He never cared.
He doesn't really care about anything
or
anyone. Yeah.
Clearly not. You can't love anybody until you love yourself, okay?
Yeah, he does love I think he loves the Democratic Party. I think he loves Pelosi, I bet.
And he loves his Spanish wife.
And his I'm sure he's still out. We'll get to the episode, but
he likes her.
They're great partners.
They're a great duo.
So they start dating. They do a lot of red carpet appearances together. It's a whirlwind romance, but alas, simultaneously, the couple is enduring a terrifying ordeal.
Oh my God.
Alec is being emailed by a stalker constantly, who shows up to his house in the Hamptons while Hilaria is there and then accosts him at Lincoln Center. So he presses charges against her. And some of the emails, I do want to read from some of the emails because they are...
dramatic reading of the emails.
They are wild. I have laundry to do. I have nothing else to wear, and my puppy need clean blankets. Robert's place, like most of my NY friends' place, doesn't have laundry room in their unit. So I've looked at your new place in the Devonshire, and guess what? You have washing machine in it. Can I use now?
Okay, that was very much giving like, Lucy, you have some splaining to do.
She knows that's what he's looking for. He's
Lucy,
looking for kind of
splaining to do.
Looking for kind of a sitcom, spicy dynamic.
What did my crazy wife do now?
And this woman, Genevieve Saborin, she is French Canadian, like Celine.
Like Celine.
I need a USA bank account. So I need social security number, and so I need visa. Well, better than all that, I need to be your wife and have my green card so I can be an American instead of Canadian. I need to change my family name to yours.
Sometimes you just need a person that cuts to the chase. You know what? I would hit that. Yes, cut to the chase. Give me
cut
that.
To the chase.
I don't want no games. I don't want the run around. Tell me what you want.
Yeah. Well, there's a twist. See.
Ooh.
So he sues her, and this all, or like not even sues her, presses charges against her, and this all plays out, of course, in the New York Post because they want to humiliate him as much as possible.
Well, and it's just a great publication.
Right. Covering the important stories. He's also an MSNBC host at the time too, so he's a real, he's building back his steam.
Jack of all trades. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this woman Jen, she came to his house in the Hamptons while Hilaria was there, and then when she approached him later, it was like something from a Hitchcock movie. He had security escort her out, and what she claims in court. So she was. Oh yeah, this is from the article. Led into the New York court in handcuffs this afternoon after being earlier sentenced to 30 days in jail for contempt of court. What did she do?
Oh my God. Yeah, truly.
So she claimed that they were dating, and the emails were because they were dating. And she's like, the first time we hooked up, we went for dinner at Elio's on the Upper East Side.
Hello.
And Baldwin invited himself to her hotel room. When he kissed me, it confirmed we were very compatible. And so we made love.
We love a confirmation.
Yes, but after him and Alicia Silverstone.
Oh my God, the 3 most famous vegans.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that's why. He probably knew her from Pure Food and Wine. I was like, what is Alicia doing there?
She's clueless.
But they all went to like a backstage tour of a Broadway show, and it was Valentine's Day. But I'm like, why didn't they depose Alicia? I have to know her thoughts on this.
You don't want to know her thoughts on anything. It's sickening. Like, she like still like bird feeds her son and stuff, and he's like 18.
I don't think she does it still now. I mean, he was only like 5. Hopefully now that he's like 21, she's not bird feeding him.
And if you don't know what bird feeding is, it's when you chew your food and then you spit it into your child's food, even when they have a full set of teeth.
Yeah. But I just have such a soft spot for her because A, she was in Clueless, and B, she looks exactly like my sister, if my sister were a vegan.
If your sister looked completely fucking insane.
Well, all this to say, like, Baldwin continues to deny them being together, that they'd ever hooked up, and, and then she claims they did. It's just a standstill. I mean, she was found guilty of 6 of the 24 counts of harassment, and she went to jail for 6 months. She went to Rikers. They threw the book at her.
Oh my God, that's so rude.
Here are her claims, which are very interesting. So on her YouTube channel, like way before Hilaria was busted, about like 7 years ago, she goes into details about what happened. She claims she never sent the emails and that they never looked up the IP address, and she thinks Hilaria sent them. And she claims at that dinner at Elio's, Alec brought a briefcase, opened it, and gave her a contract. He said he had 2 apartments and she could live at one because he wants his personal space. He doesn't want to actually have a wife, but he wants to have a wife for like all red carpet appearances and looks. And then he's like, and then later I'll buy the apartment above mine because those neighbors are moving out. And then we can live on different floors when we get married, and we'll be connected by the stairs. So people will think we're living together, but really we just live separate lives. He also said if she wanted kids, they could adopt, or if she wanted biological kids, they could go to a fertility clinic, because he was not interested in like, I think that even though the relationship was going to start sexual, he wasn't interested in doing it forever. So he's like, and also he said she could wear a pregnancy outfit if she wanted to get a surrogate, and he'd sign paternity papers, basically play a happy couple, do red carpet events. She gets the apartment, $2 million contract. Jen says no. She said she thought it was a test to see if she really liked him or not. And then she says they had sex. He gave her a different email to contact him after that. And then he said he kept calling her even when he was with Hilaria. And she said she thought, oh, she signed the contract, but he and I are still like seeing each other because it's just a contractual thing. I don't know if I believe any of this, but what is interesting is Beth and Howard Stern are best friends with the Baldwins.
Insane.
They have the same setup.
Something's really wrong with Howard Stern. I never understood his popularity.
I don't either. I guess it's like
a really weird recluse guy. Like, he's weird.
And he's not funny.
He's not funny, and he's kind of just like mean to people.
Yeah,
he really exploited women for 40 years of his career. Now he just like hangs out in a bunker and like sometimes interviews Rosie O'Donnell.
It's so weird that he's considered such a beloved like icon of pop culture, where I'm like, he invented he basically like we have him to thank for.
I guess
We
he's
have him to
better
thank
than
for.
Don Imus, and these are really good references, you guys.
Yes, but I mean, like, I guess, like, would there be podcasts without Howard Stern?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Would there be Lost Culturistas without Howard Stern?
Maybe that's the reverence, is just like, oh, he was the first person who was like, maybe if I just talk, it doesn't even have to be
Right.
funny. It can just be talking and people will
Yeah.
like to listen to it. I don't know. There were radio shows before that. I think mostly bad stuff has come from. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
Joe Rogan. There's definitely no Joe Rogan without Howard Stern.
I never got his appeal.
I don't get it either. And I tried to watch Private Parts, couldn't get through it.
I did get through that
You're like,
privately.
I love the film, but don't
Yeah,
care
I
for
love
his
the
radio work.
film. Yeah, I love his like superhero where he doesn't have like pants on. You know what I'm talking about? He farts a lot.
Vaguely. Okay, so that's interesting that like Beth also has a separate apartment in her name that she calls Girls Town, and she and like the kids live there and he lives upstairs. And then also what's interesting is like Alec has always been like Martin Bregman, who's a producer, introduced us. He was called to the stand and he said Alec was screwing two women. One was his girlfriend and the other is probably the girl in question. But the prosecution said it's because he was having an affair with Jen. But it's interesting that he alleges this. I don't really know what I think, but I do know that all of the emails and the sexual encounters being published in the New York Post to humiliate Alec Baldwin is so messy and funny.
It's the greatest publication.
Yeah, it's like they do the right thing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Yeah, they love that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the other weird part of this is in 2011, Alec buys a 4,800 foot square penthouse. In June 2012, he buys Hilaria an apartment in her name. Later that month in 2012, they get married, and then the next after the birth of the first child, Alec gets the apartment upstairs in his name in the higher floor of the building.
Oh my god.
So it's interesting.
This is I feel like a good stopping point.
Yeah, because we're so deep in. Yeah,
we're so deep in it. Yeah, I feel like this is a good, and then we'll get into the married couple and the relationship with his Spanish woman.
Yes, his
scent of a woman.
His mamacita.
His mamacita.
And we have so much. There's so much to come.
We haven't even touched the surface. But like even her engagement, where she's like, he proposed to me in the Hamptons on the beach.
This is closer to Spain. Oh, I was trying to find
the he get me to Spain.
It's like, the Hamptons. Like, what are you talking about?
He's rich.
Why would you just fly there? Like,
it was the closest we could get to Spain. No,
bitch.